Hi!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the General Eclectic Pavilion. We're tired. We're exhausted. The D23 Expo 2017 was this last weekend. We did all 3 days, full days.
And then immediately went to work back after.
Yeah, so we're still recovering. Still in kind of a funk. But it was a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun. We want to share with you what we did this weekend, kind of day by day. So day one.
Day one, there was the whole weekend there was an exhibit put on by the Walt Disney Archives. It was in celebration of Pirates of the Caribbean's 50th anniversary, but it was not strictly about Pirates of the Caribbean, which I really enjoyed. It covered the attraction, the film, and other Pirates films, starting from Treasure Island, the original that Walt did, through Treasure Planet, through Muppet Treasure Island, Blackbeard's Ghost.
Yeah, Peter Ustinov, good movie.
All the way into Jake and the Neverland Pirates. So it was really cool. I liked getting to walk through it. There was a lot of fun old artwork. There was a lot of fun old attractions, promotional memorabilia.
Yeah. There was quite a bit of merchandise too from the full 50 years. So there was stuff from opening year with ad bills and stuff through this year, the actual 50th merchandise, which we saw in one of the cases, as well as in the Dream Store.
We burn up the city, we're ready to fight. Bring up me on the show. We're rising strong. We're devils and flashy, really bad. Bring up me on the show. Yo ho, yo ho, pirates fight for me.
The next thing we did after that was we went upstairs to the Walt Disney Archives stage, which we were at quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But this was a panel discussing Ludwig von Drake and his history with the Walt Disney Company and color TV, since he was created specifically for Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color.
Yeah, we were not allowed to film or record or even take pictures in that panel, so we don't really have anything to show you. But it was a really cool look at his involvement and growth through the late 50s, early 60s. And we got to see a lot of funny clips because Ludwig's a funny guy.
And we also got to learn about Paul Frees's hand in the character, since he did more than just the voice.
Yeah. I will be honest, I did not know that his voice was sped up to sound like that.
I didn't either, but that was fun to learn.
I thought he just had super control over his vocal cords.
They just Chip and Daled him.
Yeah, they did. They did. The second panel we went to that day on the archive stage was Ink and Paint, the Women of Walt Disney's Animation. There we go.
This was a very fun panel. D23 this year was very, very heavily female empowerment, I feel,
yeah.
Which was really nice because we went to a couple of these things.
It was refreshing.
It was. They had several women from Walt Disney Animation Studios over time. They had a woman who worked with Walt. They had someone who was there in the 70s. And then two women who
were more recent,
like from the 80s and onwards. They talked about their career, how they got their jobs, and the work they did, which was all absolutely amazing. One of the women did, if you've, Sleeping Beauty, that iconic scene where they're building the cake, and the candles are sliding down the broomstick, she literally animated that whole scene by herself. Yeah,
she said she was given it by Frank Thomas, and that she wasn't sure if it made it in the film, to which everyone in the audience went, it's in the film. It's there.
And it went all the way through, hand painting every cell and having to wipe them down and redo them again sometimes, through computer inking and coloring.
Learning to use the cap system. And there was and I don't know that a name was mentioned. If it was, I apologize, but they said that there was one woman that had done the hand inking and painting, and then when you put her in front of a computer, it's like it was the only thing she'd done for the last 20 years, and it just came so naturally to her. So it wasn't
There was no
you know,
learning curve.
Yeah, it wasn't a, woman versus computer kind of thing. It was, oh, this is the new tool, I'm going to use it to the best of its potential, which was cool.
Yeah, adaptation is nice.
The last thing we did on day one was we went to a panel in one of the big presentation venues, which was Melodies in Walt's Time, and it was all about musical movies that were live action films made by Walt Disney. So, what was the first one? Was it the really weird long one that was the great all-American, one-of-a-kind, unique, special family?
That's not the actual name
band.
of the film, but he's trying so hard. They went over several films, including that one, which we'll put the name of down here somewhere once we figure out the actual one.
The actual title, yeah.
Summer Magic, briefly covered So Dear to My Heart.
The Happiest Millionaire.
The Happiest Millionaire, Mary Poppins, and a couple of other odd ones, I feel.
Yeah.
Things that haven't really stood the test of time.
Yeah.
They also featured actors from each film speaking about their time.
Yeah, the panel as a whole was hosted by Whoopi Goldberg, who was a great host.
And was a recently inducted Disney legend.
Yeah.
So, congrats, Whoopi.
That morning. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great panel. It was 2 hours long.
Just about.
So it was a long panel, long presentation, but also, worth it.
Also, it was long because performances were included. It wasn't just sitting and talking about the films. There was a lot of music involved, including a cast choir with a couple of people in it that I knew, and it made me very happy to see my friends up there.
Yeah, so we managed to get some video of that, so we'll let you take a look at that right now.
People often ask us where we get the songs for our pictures, how we decide what songs we want to use, and how we go about working them into our stories. Now, to answer these questions, I think it would be best to go into the history of some of these songs and the pictures they come from.
The award-winning actress, comedian, author, and television host, Whoopi Goldberg.
Thank you. So, Disney Entertainment and music have been companions ever since Mickey Mouse hit the screen in Steamboat Willie almost 90 years ago. Now, over time, the iconic music of animation frequently gets all the attention. You know, certainly with good reasons. Snow White, Pinocchio, Dumbo, Fantasia, Bambi, and all of Walt's animated stuff everybody knows. But our current program tonight has a different focus. It's still about music, but it's about a very different kind of music, for a different kind of filmmaking. To talk about that, because I don't know everything. But I want to know more, so tonight we're going to speak to somebody who has really good insight. This gentleman once wrote, "Some people will tell you that music was the key ingredient of Walt Disney's success. Don't you believe it? Music was the foundation of Walt Disney's success." Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the fabulous Leonard Maltin.
They had the touch. They had the magic touch. Their names were Richard and Robert Sherman. In the cute songs that they wrote for Annette,
Right.
for her records, her singles, and her albums,
Right.
they had kind of an upbeat outlook, just
It's gonna be all right.
a fun approach to song.
Yeah.
They were, to use an old-fashioned Variety magazineism, they were tunesmiths. That's a word you don't hear very
No,
often.
you don't,
No.
you don't hear the word tune very often. Just saying.
But he had these guys already working for his record company. And he called them in one day for a meeting to see if they would write a song for a two-part TV movie he was making with Annette called The Horse Mask.
Right.
And they came up with a song. Well, if they could do it once, maybe they could do it again. And that's what he had. He
Right.
had a staff team of songwriters.
Right.
And wouldn't you like to have a staff team of songwriters?
I do.
You do.
I just can't sing.
Oh, okay. Nobody's perfect. But I mean, to be able to just summon them at will and say, I need a song for this. I need a song for that. You know what? A good song would really help this story. A good song would really make this TV show or make this movie.
Right.
That's what he had in the Sherman Brothers.
Huh. Tell me a little bit about the rehearsal process of all of that. And you had some really kind of wonderful actors, like Walter Brennan.
Walter Brennan, Buddy Ebsen played my father, and Kurt Russell played my brother. And here's I'm sure you won't know this story if you're Disney fans, but in that last number, that big number,
Right.
There was this blonde dancer that was my competitor. It was Goldie Hawn.
Day 2.
Ah, yes, day 2 started with my favorite thing, the best way to start the day. It was a very nice panel about Marc Davis and his time in Walt Disney Imagineering, or as it was in his time, WED Enterprises.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. So the panel was being put on as a precursor for a book that's going to be put out, all about Marc Davis's time at WED Enterprises. They said it's going to be close to 800 pages long, so it's going to be great. Actually, 2 books.
2 books.
Book thing. Where you put the 2 in the 1.
And you bet that we are
Save.
going to be buying it.
Yeah, there were a lot of early concepts for things that we know and love that we see every day, and then there were also a lot of concepts for things that we haven't ever heard of before because they never came to fruition.
Like my current new favorite, the Squeaky Door Ghost.
The Squeaky Door Ghost is great. There was also a Western River expedition that was like well into planning, so much so that it got a model.
Cute Jake crying.
There was other stuff for the Wilderness Lodge, like there was supposed to be like a fun house almost.
Oh, that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Oh, the ghost
then-
couple in the chicken farm.
Yeah. There was also a reworking of the Disneyland Railroad. They were going to replace the Grand Canyon scene and the Primeval World.
And it was going to be
Portions.
all about Native American culture. Well, a specific tribe of Native Americans and their culture.
It's all about the Native American culture and their Kachina Dolls. And it was supposed to be the same style of diorama that is there now, but a more specific story.
In the land of the mesas, the Kachina is the spirit of the sun, the stars, and the planets. Called Yanya and Yanyamana, prickly pear Kachinas cause the springs to run fresh and clean and pure. The Kachina is a symbol of nature's harmony. The deer, the wolf, the hornet, the horned toad, the pronghorn, the horned owl are all a part of nature's tapestry.
Another one of my favorite things about the Marc Davis panel was it also showcased his work on the Tiki Room, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite attractions. It included the fact that apparently at one point he was going to put in birds that weren't even real. And I took a picture of some of the artwork of it, and we'll put it here over my face. My favorite one is the bird with the hand coming out of his head.
Glove head bird.
But I also really like the Jingle Bell bird. But it was fun to look at and see all of his thoughts and the ideas that he had through things.
Yeah, I think the coolest part was watching attraction concepts grow and evolve.
Yeah.
And become what we know. Great presentation.
For sure.
Really, really well done.
The next thing took up most of our day.
Like 6 hours of our day, to be totally truthful.
It was the Disney Parks and Resorts panel.
Well worth it.
Definitely.
Well worth it. For those of you who don't know, the Disney Parks and Resorts panel is the one where they make all of their big announcements for the coming years.
Yeah.
So there were a ton of announcements this year. We're not going to be able to remember all of them.
We're going to start with my favorite thing, though. The panel started with a performance, which again featured a bunch of people I know, and I was super excited about it. Like, oh my gosh. They're all so talented. Bravo to you guys.
Great performance to start it off.
Keep up the good work.
And then Bob Chapek came out and made all of the big announcements. There are some changes coming to our park where we work. There are changes happening in Walt Disney World. There are changes coming to Disney Cruise Line.
They're adding 3 new ships to the cruise line. They're adding 3.
Yeah, they had announced 2 originally, but then they're adding in another one.
But then they Billy Mays us and went, but wait, there's more! They are also doing a musical production of Beauty and the Beast on the new cruise ships, but it is going to be based around the live-action film and not the animated one, which is very interesting. They showcased some of that, including puppets, which I love.
They looked great. Puppets looked incredible.
They covered the name of Star Wars Land. It is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, great. I don't know about great name, but
cool.
Cool.
I like it. I can work with it. They also announced in Walt Disney World they're going to be building an attraction based on Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey and Minnie's
Runaway Railway. To the dismay of a lot of people, it is taking over the space of the Great Movie Ride. However, I think the theming of this attraction is great. They showed us a bit of it, which I didn't take any pictures or video of. I was too involved in the moment.
I didn't get any either.
But it looks so cool. The development of it looks amazing.
Yeah. It's being built as a not 2D, not 3D, somewhere in the middle kind of thing where you won't need glasses. It's all practical effects.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really cool to see how they make it work. But yeah, it's August 13th of this year is going to be the last day of operation for the Great Movie Ride. And then they'll start getting Runaway Railway installed and involved.
They are also building the Tron Light Cycle coaster in Tomorrowland in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, which is a very exciting thing.
And for all of the rumors of it replacing the Tomorrowland Speedway, it does not appear to be the case.
Nope.
The concept art that they showed us included the Tomorrowland Speedway, though a different track orientation. So it looks like it's gonna move and make the track a little bit shorter, but that it will not be replacing the attraction.
Yes, and they are also expanding Epcot and, well, I don't know if expanding is the word, but they're
doing a lot of stuff to Epcot.
They're doing a lot of work on Epcot, and it all looks very cool. I honestly couldn't tell you what exactly it was because I've never been there.
It also doesn't make a lot of sense. Like they're like, here are a couple attraction updates, and then also we're redoing the entire front half of the park.
Yeah.
Which will be super cool when it's done, but there's no way of knowing what all that means. But I'm looking forward to the Space Restaurant.
Yeah, they're also getting a Guardians of the Galaxy attraction. It is not going to be Mission Breakout. From my understanding, it's something completely different. But they are also including Guardians in their park, which I think is cute. Which means the Marvel expansion is covering all parks now, except for Tokyo. Also, big changes in Disneyland / California Adventure. Paint the Night's going to be running in DCA now, alongside a new summer thing called Pixar Fest.
Yay, Pixar Fest. Pixar Pier!
Pixar Pier sounds really cute. We don't really have a whole lot of information beyond the name, and one piece of concept art that was a little confusing.
Yeah. It's the store, though. It's what is currently Tees, Hats, and Tattoos will become what that concept art shows.
The Pixar Play Parade is moving to Disneyland, which, the parade's been around for almost 10 years, and I just think it's time for something new. Also, there is a Star Wars resort-ish thing being built in our park.
Not our park. It was announced for Walt Disney World.
Are you sure? Because it sounded like it was ours too.
Positive. I have a feeling it will happen at ours as well, but everything they said was Walt Disney World specific.
But y'all catch me transferring, because it sounds super cool.
Yeah. It's, the word immersive is thrown around a lot.
Yeah, that was their buzzword for the panel, was immersive. If I could take a shot for every time they said the word immersive, I would have been dead from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. It's going to be immersive. It's going to be, you are literally stepping into a different world, which I think will be cool if we were to consider it in that sense and not
And they really want guest involvement. They really want guests to be part of the story. They don't want it to be the way things have been lately, where it's cast members trying to have fun and trying to be part of the story, and the guests just going,
yeah, but you're from Anaheim, California. or
Yeah.
you know,
or they just don't get it
yeah.
because they haven't been set up the way we've been set up.
The end of the panel, we were all, everyone in attendance was told that we would be able to see a early viewing of Fantasmic, that what was originally supposed to open on Monday the 17th with Disneyland's birthday was going to have 2 nights of special
Previews.
presentations of previews. We were given a placard to take down to the Stage Pass section so we could choose one of 4 shows over 2 days to see. And then we went and we saw the show.
And it was great, but we won't go into detail about that because we're going to have another video about it.
Yeah, show was great. Well worth the wait, getting to be there for all of the announcements, and then getting the chance to go see the show early. And with priority viewing, we got great seats right down front, like front and center.
So day 3, we started with it was kind of a late start for us, which was fine. We started with the Inspiring Women of Imagineering panel, which was really neat because it was women from various areas of Walt Disney Imagineering talking about their jobs, how they got there, what they've been working on, and things they've been doing. Having a hand in our park and in international parks, 2 of which literally had just flown in from China like, that morning.
Yeah. It was a great kind of look into the fact that there are no 2 people who've had the same road to Imagineering, and that you kind of get there how you get there, and that's just how it works.
There's no like one path you can take.
Yeah, it was a great panel, hour long. Not super in depth on like the things they were working on,
but just
more about their experience as part of WDI.
Yeah.
But a great panel.
Still cool. Yeah. After that, we just sort of took the show floor, walked around. We saw the Pixar Animation Studios, Walt Disney Animation Studios pavilion type thing, where they were showing the Coco trailer, which we didn't watch, concept art for Cars 3. Jackson Storm, Lightning McQueen, and Cruz Ramirez were all actually on the floor to take pictures with, but we did not. Yeah, there was one thing I really wanted to do is they had the DuckTales money pit, and you could jump into the money pit, and they took this really cool, like, picture, like, almost 3D picture.
Yeah.
But the line for that got to be, like, 5 hours long. Not even an exaggeration. 5 hours. Ridiculous. But we went and saw a lot of, like, licensed merchandise that's coming out. There's a Muppets collection from a Regular Choice, and I want all of it. We took a look at some of the vendors that were non-licensed Disney people.
Yeah,
so it's like antique dealers and...
They were in what was referred to as the Disney Expo Emporium, so it was basically the big show floor, and you could rent a booth and then sell your wares. Lots of really great
overpriced
stuff. Yeah. I still bought stuff.
He did, and we'll do another video about all the stuff that was purchased as well.
We're gonna film it in like a half hour.
There was a lot of neat stuff on the show floor though. After the Hercules making of panel that we didn't go to, Susan Egan was at the center stage and did a performance, which was really sweet. She's incredible and talented and beautiful, and will always be until forever. So there's that.
There was this weekend for the whole expo the Disney Ultimate Fan Street Party, which was kind of like a mini parade that took the whole length of the show floor, straight down the middle. So it got in the way a couple times for us trying to get places.
Got in the way for a lot of people.
But it was cool. We in the video that I got of it, we got to see Jordan Fisher go by.
That was day 2. Day 3, we saw Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore. That was fun.
Years. So I was able to take that apart and restructure it. And it actually plays Yo Ho, Yo Ho, Pirate's Life for me. Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Thank you.
We also saw a lot of our friends and people we didn't know cosplaying. There were lots of incredible costumes this year.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much amazing stuff. I'm sure you've all seen the Princess Bride group, which a few of our friends were in.
I think my favorite costumes of the week were those two guys that were Morty and Ferdy Fieldmouse. Keep it up.
Did you mean Mario and other Mario with
Hey.
yellow hats on? We saw a couple really fun people. Michael Giacchino, Jim Cummings, Bill Farmer.
Robin Lopez.
Robin Lopez, who is a basketball player, for those of you who are unaware, like me. So the last thing we did
Was the Legends of Walt Disney Imagineering presentation.
and that was super fun. It was hosted by John Stamos. And
It was basically a talk. It was like, imagine like a talk show where John Stamos was the host, and then the two guests were Tony Baxter and Marty Sklar. They went and told a lot of stories, mostly about their time at Imagineering.
with their fellow Imagineers.
And the whole like setup was you're each going to choose 5 people that you worked with that are Disney legends and tell us more about them. And it was really great to hear those really personalized stories of their involvement with specific other people.
It was really sweet.
The panel ended with Wayne Jackson being honored once again and given a gold castle from
Tokyo
Disney,
Disneyland,
where
because he did a lot of work there.
Yeah. Great presentation. A lot of funny bits.
Oh man.
A lot of great funny stories. If
Marty killing the game.
Yeah, if you see us around, ask us for some of the stories because they were wonderful. But I don't want to take up too much time sharing them all here. That was the weekend.
It was moderately stressful, ultimately pretty enjoyable, I suppose. I'm just not a fan of all of the disorganization that happened. I go to this every time it comes up now, and I feel like this was honestly the most stressed I've ever been going to one.
It was definitely the biggest, the most people. The whole weekend had been sold out by midday Friday.
Yeah.
So, capacity was definitely hit. A lot of people, again, tough to go do everything that we wanted to do because of the amount of waiting that everything entailed. But I think it was an overall enjoyable weekend, and we got to do a lot of fun things, and we are glad we went.
We had fun in moments. I'm a little apprehensive about going next time, but we're going to because it's just going to be a thing.
We were talking earlier today or yesterday about the fact that it needs to move towards Comic-Con where they do more than the 3 days.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm not saying add more stuff in that 4th day.
Just add more time.
Stretch it out. Add more time so that everybody can actually do all the things that they want to do.
So that's pretty much it. We are going to leave you now with a 1-inch scale model of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This is a representation of the Anaheim bit of land. It is also happening in Walt Disney World. It is pretty much the exact same. Except ours has 3 entrances. Theirs only has 2.
Yeah, there's only going to have two entrances.
The model was really interestingly done. Some things were hard to see, but it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll get installed somewhere where regular guests can look at it.
It's huge though.
But it's gigantic.
Yeah,
and
it's a 1-inch scale model of a 14-acre installment. So really, really big. They said it's kind of a living model, so it's something they've been working on for the last 3 years.
And it's super cool. It's been their reference basically for building the land.
Yeah. It's beautiful, so we'll leave you with that now. Enjoy it.
Catch us next week when we're talking about all the stuff we bought.
Yeah.
And is currently set to open in 2019. The model that you're looking at this morning is actually our Disneyland site. Our sites at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios are actually nearly identical. The one small difference is that Disneyland has 2 entrances, whereas